A new champion was crowned on AEW Dynamite 250. Plus, an absent AEW star is returning soon. And we have an update on a WWE Stars in Ring return. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Dynamite 250 EE was last night, and it started and almost ended with an AEW international title match between Will Ospreay and MJF. And boy howdy, what a match that was.
It was unbelievable. And coming out of that match, everybody, MJF is the new AEW International Champion. So as Tom mentioned there, Dynamite opened with Ospreay defending that title against MJF, which almost went the full 1 hour time limit. I think in the match it was like, oh, there's 57 minutes left, and things started to like ramp up. The end though came when Ospreay hesitated to hit the Tiger Driver 91, which then gave MJF a chance to push Ospreay into the ref, and then with mere seconds left on the clock, MJF hit Ospreay with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, picked up the 3 to the surprise of the crowd, I feel like, as well, winning his first international championship. Oh man, this match was so good.
Incredibly well put together, and with like literally the dying seconds before the time limit expired, MJF cheating his way through, getting oxygen at the end of the match, because it was amazing business. I think this pretty much sets up an MJF Ospreay return bout at Wembley.
I was thinking that as well. I'll be interested to see where the feud goes as well, because I was wondering, is this then setting up for Wembley, perhaps for Ospreay to get the title back there, or will we see people move on to other things? Not too sure. I'm excited though. I thought them two together, magic. Like, they really adapted so well to each other's styles too, and put on just an absolute banger. So I, would like to see another one of those, please.
Which is why I think they might run it back again, because clearly they've tapped into something quite special with those two. So an excuse to do it again. And one thing that we wanted to see was Ospreay raise a title in his home country. So I guess this is a way that you do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You have him win it back in England at Wembley. Blood and Guts before that. That's happening next week. It's going to feature not only the aforementioned titular match of Blood and or Guts, but will also feature an FTW title match. Jericho's Learning Tree segment got interrupted by somebody who was courted for the Learning Tree in Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki pulls out a contract for Jericho and simply says next week. It was confirmed moments later that Suzuki will challenge Jericho for the FTW title at Dynamite Blood and Guts.
Yeah, I like seeing Murder Grandpa when he's on the television, and it should be all right.
He had a bit of a health issue recently. He collapsed at an event recently, and I'm so glad to see that he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, Murder Grandpa, long may you reign. And I could genuinely see Murder Grandpa as an FTW champion.
I don't know. Well, they did say as well, I believe that the entourages of Chris Jericho are banned from ringside as well. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe he uses some sneaky shenanigans. I don't know.
Sneaky shenanigans. We'll give you an update shortly on a WWE star set to make an in-ring return. But let's talk about an AEW star returning first of all. He's been away for a little bit as Sammy Guevara. What do we know?
So, Sean Ross Sapp has learned that Guevara's return to TV has been discussed over the last few weeks. It should be noted that Guevara has not been suspended over the last couple of months. He's simply not been on television. Obviously, if we all recall, Guevara was suspended back in February when he was suspended due to a concussion protocol violation, which led to Jeff Hardy being sidelined following a concussion scare.
And we haven't seen him on TV since then. Jeff Hardy has since left AEW, popping up in TNA and for some reason in the hedges near his house singing, you do you, hun, speak your truth. So it's probably a good time for Guevara to make a comeback.
Yeah.
And maybe this is where they'll, now that some of the dust has settled on that, this is where they bring him back through.
Oh no, I kind of thought, I was like, I would like him not to be part of the Chris Jericho stuff, but now I've thought that he's not officially part of the Learning Tree at the moment. What if he comes out next week in that Suzuki and Chris Jericho match?
Oh, so maybe this is because the Learning Tree aren't allowed to be at ringside.
Yes, and he's not technically part of the Learning Tree as of yet. I'd like to see him do something else though, away from Chris Jericho, I feel like, at least anyway.
We're going to see some AEW stars doing stuff away from AEW. Some CMLL crossover business to talk about this morning.
Yes, so several AEW stars will be competing at CMLL events in the coming weeks. So Death Triangle will be part of CMLL show on Friday, July 26th at Arena Mexico, with opponents yet to be revealed. However, there's more. Kyle Fletcher will be part of Team World in the CMLL Grand Prix match on August 23rd, teaming with Rocky Romero, Robbie X, Flip Gordon, and Ikuro Kwan to face Team Mexico, which is made up of Mystico, Templario, Titan, Ultimo Guerrero, and Atlantis Jr.
Yes, now Robbie X getting some love in CMLL. I am delighted to see. Robbie X is phenomenal. Love to see him in the mix there on that one. And that Team Mexico team's a strong one as well. This is part of course, a really strengthening of the relationship between AEW and CMLL. And I reckon we'll probably see a few more names maybe added to upcoming shows for CMLL from AEW. That's just a hunch on my part and nothing else. What a wonderful time that we live in where there is so much crossover, because not only have we got the TNA stuff, we've had numerous NXT guys announced for Pro Wrestling Noah tournaments coming up as well. We know that we're seeing obviously AEW and CMLL stuff. It's great because it's Attitude Era guys, millennial guys, maybe necessarily didn't get this as much or in this sort of way. Of course, in like the mid to late 90s, you had WWF working with AAA and you had WCW working with New Japan. But this hits a little different somehow. Yeah,
definitely. I would have loved this growing up, because when I was a wee boy that didn't know any better, I just thought WWE was it. I was like, there's nothing else compared. So I guess like young fans growing up, it's nice to expose them to all these other different companies and all these other different avenues you can go down. If you don't like one thing, then there's plenty of other things that are going on. And also, all this crossover just exposes you to more stuff.
I think there's one thing that universally, regardless of where you hang your wrestling hat, that we all like, and that's Big E. Yes. Now, Big E recently, as we know, hasn't been in the ring. It was just heading into WrestleMania in 2022, I want to say, or 2021, where he suffered a broken neck. Last month, Big E had stem cell treatment, and he's offered an update on how he's been getting on. He says, "It's been a month and some change since I went to Cancun for stem cells. My body was infused with millions upon millions of stem cells that are now roaming around in my body and doing all the work. They're doing something in there, and I feel great. Something I highly recommend. I don't have any issue with pain, so I haven't noticed a change there, but I'm excited to see how the stem cells percolate inside my body and the work that they do. But I feel great, and I'm excited about it. It's something that I've learned about in the past couple of years and has done wonderful things with so many people. I will update you as these months proceed. I'll let you know how the body is doing, but I feel great, and I'm excited to see what the stem cells do for me." There's been many wrestlers that have bestowed the benefits of stem cell treatments like this, such as Kevin Nash, Johnny Nitro, Rey Mysterio, and now Big E, MVP as well, recently doing the same thing as well. And they all do it as a means to an end, to one, alleviate pain in their bodies, but also to get them ring ready. So a lot of people seeing this as maybe Big E potentially, if all this goes according to plan, returning to the ring now.
I mean, you never say never in wrestling, do you?
Oh, you
never say never. And if there's one person I would love to see come back, and I think I speak for many people within the wrestling community, it's Big E. What a guy, deserves it. Like, yeah.
I think even as a swan song, just to kind of come back and finish up on his, because I know he seems quite happy with not. He misses wrestling, but you can tell that like he's got other irons in the fire. He's a wildly charismatic man. He's got the Kavorka, as Ross Tweddle would say, and I would imagine he's got lots of other things away from wrestling. But it'd be nice to see him get in there maybe at least one more time. Yeah, wrap up the New Day, put the New Day in the Hall of Fame. Happy days are here again.
That would be lovely.
So lovely. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day, lovely and otherwise, at cultaholic.com. Kiss, kiss.
Love you, bye.